All right, if you're building any kind of Laravel app, you are absolutely going to be dealing with user uploads. And let's be honest, those JPGs, PNGs, and PDFs can be a silent killer for your app's performance and your server storage. So let's dive right into how to master file compression and turn that potential headache into a massive win. First things first, we really need to understand the problem we're trying to solve here, because it's not just about how many megabytes a file is. It's about the ripple effect those big files have across your entire application. Does this sound familiar? You know, a user uploads a 5 megabyte profile picture straight from their new phone, or a client sends over a 10 megabyte PDF. These unoptimized files just stack up, and before you know it, you're dealing with slow page loads, frustrated users, and a storage bill that just keeps creeping up and up. But here's the payoff, and it is huge. We're not talking about some tiny little tweak. We are talking about taking a 5 megabyte file and shrinking it down to 500 KB. Just look at the difference in impact. You go from a slow, expensive app to a fast, efficient one with happy users. This is the goal, and believe me, it is completely achievable. I mean, just look at these numbers. For most images, you can slash the file size by 60, even 80%, with almost zero difference that a person can actually see. This isn't some kind of dark magic. It's just smart optimization that makes an enormous difference. So how do we actually pull this off? Well, the great news is you don't have to build all this from scratch. The Laravel ecosystem gives us some absolutely incredible tools to get the job done right. Now, the crucial thing to get here is that there's no single tool that's perfect for every file type. For images, we've got Intervention Image. Think of it as the Swiss Army knife for image manipulation in Laravel. It makes complex stuff like resizing and compressing images incredibly simple. But for PDFs, we need to bring in the heavy artillery, Ghostscript. It's a super powerful, low-level tool that basically rebuilds the PDF, giving us total control over that final file size. Okay, we've got our tools. Now let's get into the playbook. Let's see how we can build a real-world strategy for handling both images and PDFs. For images, it's a pretty simple 3-step dance. First, you just load the uploaded file into Intervention Image. Second, you resize it. I mean, there's absolutely no reason to store a 4,000 pixel wide image if your website is only 1920 pixels wide, right? And finally, you just save it out with a slightly lower quality setting. A quality of around 80% is usually the sweet spot between size and clarity. Now for the PDFs. If you only remember one thing from this, let it be this command line setting for Ghostscript. dpdf settings equals ebook. That right there is the secret sauce. It's a preset that gives you a fantastic balance between shrinking the file size and keeping it sharp enough for on-screen reading. But ebook isn't your only choice. You've actually got a whole spectrum of options. Screen is perfect if file size is your absolute #1 priority, and quality can take a bit of a hit. On the other end, you have prepress for when you need that professional print shop level quality. But honestly, for most web apps, ebook is going to be your go-to. Awesome, so we've created this beautifully optimized, smaller file. But that brings up a really important question. What on earth do we do with that big, clunky, original file? You've basically got 2 main strategies here. The first is immediate replacement. It's simple, you just delete the original. It's fast, but it's also kind of risky. For any serious production application, the archive and purge strategy is definitely the way to go. It gives you a much-needed safety net. So how does archive and purge actually work? It's really simple. When you create that new compressed version, you don't delete the original right away. Instead, you just move it to a separate archive folder. You keep it there for a little while, maybe 30 days. If something goes wrong, you've got a backup. If not, it just gets deleted automatically. It really is the best of both worlds. And that purge part, it is incredibly easy to automate. You can set up a simple scheduled task in Laravel's console kernel to run once a day, find any archived files older than 30 days, and poof, they're gone. You literally set it and forget it. So we've covered the core logic, but to really take this from a good idea to a robust production-ready system, we need to add a few pro-level touches. Pro tip #1, use Laravel queues. Compressing a big file can take a few seconds, and if you do that during a web request, your user is just stuck there staring at a loading spinner. The request might even time out. That's a failed upload. By pushing the compression work to a background queue, your user gets an instant response, and all the heavy lifting happens behind the scenes. Okay, this next one is a huge one for security. Never, ever trust the file extension. A malicious user could easily upload a script and name it something like evil.php.jpg. You have to validate the file's actual MIME type to make sure a JPG is really a JPG before you even think about processing it. And finally, log your results. I mean it. Create a simple database table to track the original size, the new compressed size, and the amount you saved. This isn't just for kicks. This is how you prove your return on investment. This data lets you walk up to your boss or your client and show them the exact dollar amount you're saving them on cloud storage every single month. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, by putting these strategies into practice, you're not just saving some disk space. You're building a faster, more responsive, more professional application. You're making the user experience better, and you're cutting your infrastructure costs. So the real question is, with all that newfound efficiency, what are you going to build next?